Do you have a partner who started out as charming and caring, but now turns every positive into a negative, is irritable, anxious, annoyed, and complains incessantly, mostly about you? Do you get disgusted looks, sighs of despair to let you know how hopeless and clueless you are? Does your partner mock you, demean you in other ways, or disrespect you while simultaneously accusing you of having no respect for her? If this sounds super familiar, you may be dealing with a female covert narcissist. Now, it's possible that the reason for this behavior is something other than narcissistic personality disorder. And to learn more about these other potential causes, please click on the link above. I'm Lise Leblanc, therapist, author, and life coach, and today I'm talking about ways to deal with specific manipulation tactics by a female covert narcissist. Before I start, please let me say that I am in no way, shape, or form suggesting that anyone should stay in a toxic or abusive relationship. But if you are staying for reasons that make sense to you, these tips and strategies can help you develop skills to navigate these manipulation tactics. So the first and main manipulation tactic that you need to be aware of is the damsel in distress. The female covert narcissist plays the victim, and I will say play loosely because they typically see themselves as innocent and as a victim. So no matter the circumstances, no matter how many times she finds herself in the same dramas, never once does she step back and say, hey, wait a minute, maybe I have something to do with this. Maybe I'm playing a role in the recurrent problems that I'm facing. Instead, she sees herself as helpless, as chronically mistreated and misunderstood. She believes that she has no choice but to defend and protect herself from all the bullies in the big bad world. And this is her experience. It's her reality. She has zero ability to recognize that she is often recreating the chaos, conflict, and traumas in an effort to reinforce and validate her victim identity. So she surrounds herself with people who validate this victim mentality and with partners who will sign up to be her hero, not realizing that they will soon be seen as a big fat zero. Anyone who does not validate her victim mentality is painted the villain. In fact, if you even dare to challenge her perceptions or suggest solutions to her problems, you either will go on a wild goose chase or you'll hit a brick wall. You'll be accused of invalidating her, having no empathy, no capacity to understand a woman. You may even be accused of being psychologically abusive. So what you need to understand is that this victim mentality is a psychological defense mechanism, and it serves many, many purposes, including getting attention, sympathy, validation, support, other resources, and it allows them to deflect accountability for any of their own actions because nothing is ever her fault. She never has to look in the mirror and face the uncomfortable truth that her primary problem is internal. So to handle a female covert narcissist, you need to understand that for them, admitting fault triggers deep feelings of shame, insecurity, and inadequacy. It risks collapsing their entire identity. And this is terrifying. They've spent many years adding layers upon layers upon layers of defenses to protect this fragile identity. So they will do everything in their power to avoid such a collapse. In fact, they have a whole arsenal of weapons to defend their false identity. So if you challenge their perception that they're faultless or you question their actions, you are poking at this very fragile bubble, and they are likely to attack or defend. They will use tactics like gaslighting, blame shifting, projection, and their ability to twist situations and reinterpret events to fit their victim narrative will blow your mind. It will disorient you and drain you to no end. So as tempting as it may be to try to challenge their victim mentality or to jump into problem-solving mode, instead, realize that solving her problems will not make her feel better. Now, you may fundamentally disagree with her way of seeing things, especially when she starts painting you the enemy. Trust me when I tell you that there is no point in trying to solve these self-created problems or changing her view of herself as the victim.
It's just, there's all this pressure. I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head, and it's relentless.
Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing...
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
See, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See,
out.
you're not even listening now.
Okay.
So if her complaints are not directed at you, it's best to maintain a compassionate but cautious distance. Acknowledge her feelings without necessarily agreeing. Instead of arguing with her, just say things like, I hear what you're saying. Tell me more. Sounds like this is really hard for you. I can see that this is really frustrating.
Sometimes it's like there's this achy, I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
That sounds really hard.
It is.
Of course, there are many times when her victim mentality is going to be directed at you. So for example, let's say you have a concern that you want to talk about. What you can expect is that she will use the DARVO technique to reinforce her victim stance. DARVO stands for deny, attack, and reverse the victim offender role. For a more detailed explanation of this strategy, please click on the link above. Here's a quick example of how it works. Let's say your partner is always late. You're set to meet at a nice restaurant at 7 p.m. and she turns up at 7:33. You're irritated, but you know that if you bring it up, it's going to ruin the date. She eventually shows up, doesn't say anything about being late. Fine, okay, whatever. You have dinner. She complains about her day as usual, doesn't ask anything about you as usual, criticizes you for what you're eating, what you're wearing, or whatever else. It's the usual. On the way home, you remember that she was late, and out of genuine curiosity, you say something like, hey, I meant to ask you, how come you were late tonight? Immediately, she gets defensive. She denies that she was late. I wasn't late. We were meeting at 7:30. And now you know the meeting time was at 7, so you show her the text confirming the reservation time. This only angers her further. Then she attacks. Why are you making such a big deal out of this? And what about all the times you're late? And you might say, hey, I was just genuinely curious about whether you got caught up at work or were stuck in traffic. It's actually not that big of a deal. I just would like a text or a call to let me know that you were running late. Finally, she reverses victim and offender roles. You're making me feel like I'm a terrible person just for being a few minutes late. You're always criticizing me. It's like you need to know where I am every minute of the day. And you say, hey, listen, I wasn't trying to start something here. Maybe we could just agree that next time we'll let each other know if we're going to be late. And instead of apologizing or agreeing to this solution, she continues to deflect accountability and manipulate you in the situation. So what do you do with this? Well, first, recognize that covert narcissists actually have predictable patterns. So instead of getting emotionally engaged, mentally confused, and struggling to hold her accountable, realize that this is a pattern. And no matter how delicately you present your issues, needs, or concerns, she will see it as a personal attack. So when challenging or confronting a narcissist, communicate clearly, focus on behavior, avoid getting defensive, stay calm, and stay on point. Meaning, when she tries to pull you out of what you're trying to say, just go back to the main point. Remind her that you're on the same team, but just know that in this moment you are the enemy, and maybe you've been permanently painted the enemy. And you'll likely need to disengage from the conversation as quickly as possible. So stay calm and assertive while also accepting that you won't be able to change her perspective. And instead of getting caught up in defending yourself or seeking validation, trying to be right, just prioritize your own well-being.